Many thanks for joining us on the Value Chain TV News Update. I am S.A. Ufoma with the news. And in the news update, the federal government has warned that there would be consequences for the stability of the country if the nationwide protests being planned by some Nigerians come to fruition. Secretary to the government of the Federation, George Akume, met with ministers in his office behind closed doors to try to avert the protest. Our correspondent, Chad Moses, brings us details from the street. The report.
Protests are set to sweep the streets of Nigeria from 1st to 10th of August, driven by economic hardship and frustrations, which have been caused by high increase in cost of goods and inflation, which has surged from 34 to 19% in June. We're out here on the streets of Abuja to find out from Nigerians their perspective on the issue.
That's the best option. In a country that the leaders takes the followers as if they are cowards. And most of the times, we participate in such. Like the president himself organized a protest years ago. And the video is out when he told us that the leaders are not helping issue. Why then should he climb up and become more worse than the leaders? In the first place, a father should not starve his family. When a father or a mother starve his children, you are not a good leader. And any policy that do not favor citizens is not a good policy. So the protest is the best option. That's the only thing you can do to draw their ears that the populace are suffering. The suffering is not hidden. People are dying of hunger. People are just lying on the street. People are having ulcer. If you go to hospital and see how people are buying ulcer drugs, you will pity Nigerians. If you go to even ordinary motor park to enter motor, a place we're entering for before 2,000 naira is 11,000 naira. People are withdrawing their children from schools and they're at home. Some people cannot even see Gary to drink. A mudu of Gary before, the one I know before, is 150, but it's now 1,350 per one. And assume you're a civil servant, you have 4 kids. You feed yourself, feed your wife, feed your 4 kids. Where is the salary? And that salary you are talking about formally is not up to 35,000 naira a month. Imagine a married man that is earning 35,000 naira a month.
Planned protests cannot solve our problem. What will solve our problem is dialogue. I think if the government can select some people to dialogue with them so that they can now present our problems to him, that would be better for us. And if the thing has been failing, what have we been achieving from the strikes? We don't achieve anything. So I personally believe that, it's a personal opinion anyway, I believe that dialogue will solve our problem. The youth are the leaders of tomorrow. And if the plan strike continues the way they are talking about, I think a lot of people or criminals will hijack that strike.
Actually, it's a good welcome idea to Nigeria to protest. It's allowed by the constitution and by the law for someone to protest, but there must be a reason and genuine things that they are protesting for. So what they are protesting for is hunger or anything. That's the question I will ask you as a journalist yourself, so that before I can say anything. Nigeria economy dropping, is it who effort is that? It's effort me and you. Through our GDP, gross domestic product, that's when the economy can be buoyant, the economy can be good. So without that contribution between me and you, there is nothing that will happen. You are talking about hunger. How many of you have ideology of going back to the farming productivities in your village? How many of you have ideology in the schools? How many schools they are practicing agriculture in the school now, even in secondary school, that they give them the portion of the land to make the farming? So that is why there is no food. So the food has to be planned by me and you.
As heard from Nigerians, accountability extends beyond the president, and if there must be any protest, it must remain peaceful. I am Chat Moses reporting for Value Chain TV.
As the crisis between the Nigerian midstream and the downstream petroleum regulatory authority and the Dangote Refinery Limited intensifies, the National Association of Nigerian Students has called for a change of leadership following comments made by the NMDPRA Chief Executive Officer Ahmed Farouk against Dangote Refinery. Kabiru Lawal has the details.
Mr. Ahmed Farouk had few days ago alleged that Dangote Refinery is producing substandard products. They claim which was found to be false and perceived by many Nigerians as an attack on Dangote Refinery. In a press release signed by the Secretary General of NANS, Comrade David Baraika, the group expressed outrage over Mr. Ahmed Farouk's comment and insisted that if nothing is done to remove him immediately, they will mobilize their members and Nigerian youth to protest massively until the right thing is done. Kabir Lawal reporting for Value Chain TV.
Records from the Center for the Study of Economics of Africa have shown that Nigeria loses over $18 billion to corruption annually in Nigeria. The losses included at least $500 million annually to internet fraud. To this end, the executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ola Olukoyede, highlighted the need for increased collaboration of all stakeholders in the fight against corruption. Away from that now, Nigeria's team overseeing the Renewable Energy Technology Manufacturing Zone and Evergreen City has met with the world's largest electric vehicle battery manufacturer, CATL, in China for discussions on a potential partnership. Special Presidential Envoy on Climate Action, Ajuri Ngelale, made this disclosure in a brief statement made available to newsmen at the State House, Abuja. The proposed collaboration aims to leverage CATL's technologies and financing platforms to support the development of Evergreen City, which is rich in lithium, a key component in EV battery production. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria has urged the federal government to protect local investors and give them the necessary support to thrive in the business environment. The association made this call when it weighed in on the allegations of poor quality of diesel, monopolistic tendencies of non-issuance of license leveled against Dangote Refinery by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. MAN said local investors, particularly the Dangote Industry Limited, plays a vital role in driving economic growth as they pay taxes, create jobs, and foster development within the country. The permanent site of the African Aviation and Aerospace University project in Abuja is set to be completed within 48 weeks. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, disclosed this in Abuja during the ground opening of AAAU permanent site and the institution's maiden matriculation ceremony for the 2023-2024 academic session. According to him, the university intends to explore the possibility of partnering with the private sector for the development of hostels, clinic, conference center, and hotel due to its proximity to the airport. And still on the news update, Netflix has again announced a price adjustment for its subscriptions in Nigeria. Reports reaching Value Chain TV indicate that premium plan now set at 7,000 naira per month, which came up from 5,000 naira. This marks the platform's second price adjustment in 3 months, with the introduction of the most recent price increase in April of this year. And that's it on the Value Chain TV news update. I am S.A. Ufuma. Bye for now.